Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 17. We're just having
17.
some jokes in the background, but welcome to another LFC Toronto show. Welcome back, Dan. Hi, Jake. How are you fellas doing? Not all at once.
Yeah, I know. Amazing, man. Caught the final. I wasn't in town, unfortunately, but caught the final with some fellow LFC lads and ladettes, and it was beautiful. Can't imagine what you guys went through, but what a feeling.
Before Jake says anything, I think he's frozen anyway.
He's
frozen? Are they now members of LFC Toronto, Dan?
Yes, actually, a couple. Actually, shout out to Henry. And who's the other person? I forget. Actually, no, they were meaning to join, but Henry Kim, he's also going to be coming to the final at and our friend Jake is missing, but no, he's going to be coming to the final at the Champions League final, so that'll be great. And some new Reds. There's a lot of new Reds who joined us in the past few weeks, actually. Looking forward to meeting a lot of them.
I have an idea. Every time, like, if we should start shouting out new members, especially if we know them. And when we do, we'll do this at the same time. Shout out Henry.
Henry, big up. Yeah.
Okay, we'll just keep going with the show. I think Jake is having some technical issues. For sure. But we're going to start with another glorious weekend in this club's history, and then followed up yesterday by another semi-final win, we can call it, semi-final of the Premier League. So, you know what? We're taking it to the final day. Dan, you weren't with us. We were at the Madison. You were in Kingston with some other Liverpool fans. But tell us, thoughts on the FA Cup final. Let's get right into it.
Yeah, I mean, no surprise in terms of the way it went. In terms of the KG result, obviously Chelsea and what they bring. Tuchel just knows how to play us. Keep it very tight. They had some chances. We had obviously some chances that we didn't take. I thought, given everything, given the subs, Mo coming out and Virgil and some of the folks stepping up, I just think back to Costas, just coming in and relieving. Was it Andy, right? He came on from Andy, for Andy, and so Millie as well. It was just it reminded me of just like a total team effort, and Klopp's railed about that, and he felt sort of bad, obviously, at Southampton about not bringing on Ox or whatever. But you can tell, he's not just doing it in a charitable way. He actually needs the players, and on the final, I felt that we just played everyone to their last sort of breath, and thankfully we came up with the result. But my man Stadio, I when he took that pen, I just had a bad feeling about that, actually, funny enough. And and then that's what happened. But yeah, I mean, just great match overall, 2 out of 2. And could you imagine episode 1, I had said quadruple, and now, we have Jake, our press, connecting as well. We're so deep into the. I mean, it's really 2 matches left, and we're still talking about the quadruple. Think about that for a second. It's just unbelievable. So here's Mr. Freeze, or Mr. Frozen. He's back again. Jake, what do you think about the FA Cup final, man? What was your impression?
I want to say it was a job done in the end. That's
checkbox, eh? Checkbox thing.
Again, as exactly what you just said. It's like we're in the conversation, we're still in the running, and whatever we put on the field is just actually working, which is the key catalyst conduit right now. Late in the season, we had a few injuries. We do have a few injuries, but I'll take it on any level. I don't care who scores, Dan. I don't care if you score. I don't care who's.
Oh, I might score. Yeah, I might come off the bench.
You play keeper. I don't care who's in what.
Free transfer.
As long as as long as the world keeps hating on Liverpool and we keep winning, that's literally all I care for.
What do you mean, though? Everyone wants Liverpool to win. Everyone loves Liverpool, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, deal with that.
You know what's so funny about that is if you've lived in a country for 3 or 4 years and you get something that wrong, even longer, I think he's been in England since 2016. So you've been in England for 6 years and you think that the media loves Liverpool. Like, honestly, it's absolutely insane. Like, I've lived in Toronto for over 10 years. I feel like I have a pulse on certain things at this point. You know, like I would never make a statement like the media hates the Maple Leafs. Like the media loves the Maple Leafs. Like, you know, like it's bizarre. It's bizarre to actually think that somebody who's so smart, who has lived in the UK, in the northwest as well of the UK for 6 years, is a brilliant football manager and actually gets something so wrong. Anyway, we don't need to give that any more time. Jake, did you agree with Luis Diaz as man of the match?
You know what? I think Luis Diaz was man of the match. One thing I wanted to say was I think that one article or piece I saw, which Klopp, which I think he was one of the men of the match. Why I say this is that they broke down the extra time or the 15 minutes after extra time happened to the penalty shootout, and it showed the modus operandi between both coaches and what they did in that 15-minute span. And it kind of blew my mind from the expectations of what kind of coach that we have. So basically, my point of reference is that Klopp went to each individual player and said, shoot this way, this is what the moves are, whatever else. And he did that within the first 5 minutes of that gap.
After extra time, before the penalties,
and that gap. So everybody was ready. So he did that conversation. He did that individually. He did that. And then
assuming that anyone could take it, right? Like assuming that anyone can take it, or did he say?
He went to the squad, and then basically, I think that took about 7 minutes. And then next, he was like hugging. Everyone was
I saw that he was like jovial and stuff, right?
They were laughing. They were laughing.
Yeah, him and Virgil and stuff. Yeah. I remember that.
And the interesting thing was watching Tuchel go through the process. And what he did was he put everybody in the circle, and he had that same talk within the circle. And then because it's like you have your whole team there, the pressure situation is completely different dynamic. You took care, and you took the individual person, said, listen, this is what it is, relax, calm down, do this. Then you have a circle of like, you know, your first whatever it is, and you're having that, and then you can see the eyes of the players being like, shit, I'm talking, okay, I'm under pressure now, and like it was a completely different dynamic. And it was like another level of art of coaching, right? I don't think I've ever watched that part play out like this. And I was like, you know what? This guy's the man of the match. This guy's kick ass. I mean, I did like Ali. You can't complain. Ali's
Ali, I thought was man of the match. Yeah.
Ali's on a different level. And I did feel, I was like, Sadio missed a penalty. Holy shit. And then I'm like, okay, and then Simi, like that was, you know, a Greek scouts to steal that.
Only him, right? Rightfully so for him to just pop that, right? Yeah.
And we literally broke Chelsea, like broke them. Like
without even like beating them in real time. That's what's also so funny. It's that like the way it's all like manifested on the Carabao Cup final and then this one is we actually didn't even beat them in regulation time. We didn't beat them in extra time, but they've got like major ownership issues and everything happening at the same time. Meanwhile, like we're off to like at least compete for the Champions League final and even maybe more out of hope than expectation for Sunday. But still, the one guy that neither of us,
two different keepers. You know, they complained about, oh, this guy's not in, like this, and oh, this blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. Mendy's a great keeper. Kepa, you know, I feel for him because he's $100 million keeper, whatever you want to call it. But Mendy was supposed to be the guy, and then everyone was complaining, no. If we had Mendy, we'd be fine. We would have beat you, no problem.
And they had the away support, right?
Yeah.
And they had the away support.
So, which is like
on the way end.
Simi did that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But what was interesting though was like I was watching the, you know, like the inside the stadium, sort of like the inside clip, you know, that LFC Productions puts on. It was crazy that they actually showed like the different fan bases. So after each pen, you saw the Chelsea fans like a little polite clap, you know, like little golf clap. our fans are like, yeah, just like, just like totally like, every single pen. And honestly, if you can measure intensity on a pitch, in a manager, in a fan base, and even fans like us who are way, way removed, there's a difference between clubs. There really is. But sorry, Azaz, you're going to say.
No, I was just going to say the one person that we didn't mention was what a defensive performance by Trent. Like, he was phenomenal. Like, we all know what he can do going forward, and he's on 14 assists. But like, everyone who's like, he can't defend, that was his best ever defensive performance from what I can remember. He may have had another one, but like, no, this is like on that level because it's the FA Cup final at Wembley.
Cup final.
I was like, wow. And then Danny Alves was talking about him again. They've got this like bromance going, like generational bromance going on.
Well, at least it's not the Cafu flannel one, right? Remember, like the Cafu flannel?
Yeah.
And that obviously fizzled up for various reasons. but anyway.
And Jake, let's talk a bit about the Maddie experience on the FA Cup final. Like, that was crazy.
We have amazing, I know everyone's going to say around the world that their fans, and their cities have like our next level fans and they have excitement, whatever else. We bring the heat every match. And those big ones, people are jumping on the tables, yelling and screaming, things are flying, songs are going. And it's such an intimate crowd, but there's hundreds of people in the building innately. It was such, and you feel so close to one another because we're taking the highs and the lows of that match.
Yeah.
And so it's like, it's massive and it's such a good atmosphere. And of course we bring that, we make that atmosphere. It's just fantastic to say the least. And it's just great.
We missed you, Dan, on that. But one thing I do want to say, I don't want to out anyone, but if you check our social media, my social media, there may be other fans from other OLFCs making comments like, holy shit, I need to get to Toronto next year. So it's out there. I'm not outing anybody.
It's all this man.
But it's
all this man and his team.
It's out there. So, there are people from other OLFCs who have commented saying that is crazy, i.e. theirs was not as good on Saturday. So make of that what you will. And everyone behaved themselves. Hey, Jake, we had a new entry policy and I know I got some footage of you out there. Like, how was that experience?
It just made me feel like when I was, bouncing at clubs back in the days. It was
bouncer.
It made me feel that experience again. But everyone was cordial.
WWE, man.
Our process of our digital first, first world membership card experience. Are you this? Is your ID? Whatever else? Seamless. Bang, bang, bang. They walked in, and of course, and I like the fact as well is like if you have any life issues, disabilities, whatever else, we're sorting you out as well. So that's great. And so it was just a nice, and the day was beautiful as well. The weather in Toronto this week, my weekend was fantastic.
Amazing.
It was just great. So everyone was in such a joyous mood, right? Everyone was happy. And then of course we got the results. So the process was good, and it bodes well for, next week and a bit experience at our pubs for the digital process. But it was great, and everyone behaved themselves. It was great. It was a fantastic afternoon as a whole, which was fantastic.
It was amazing.
Good to see that spirit.
Yeah, it was awesome. So that wraps up the FA Cup final. And then yesterday, a few of us were together at the second pub, Elephant and Castle, and trying to make some noise and just what could we make of that anyway? And I did some digging yesterday, so I'll pull up my message on our WhatsApp group in a minute just to talk about how fresh we've been able to keep people, because it's crazy reading and it's an OLFC Toronto exclusive, I guess, because I haven't seen anybody else do that analysis yet. But what I want to say as well is what a result again, and in the context of it all, like we actually went behind to the first team of another Premier League team away, so at their ground, and our B team was able to do that. Like, yeah, Dan, where did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it at home. I was obviously working, and I would love to be in there, but think about not 1, 2, 3, 9 changes away. What's riding on the line? tired squad, and not everybody who played, started were just rested. I mean, you had Hendo come on, you had who else was on there? Millie, right? Millie played the final as well. So there were a few lads who had already logged a lot of yards, and not having your sort of like go-to match winners as well. Like, when we went 1-0 down. By the way, Atkinson, what was that? Like, call the bloody foul, man. Like, seriously, that's a foul any day of the week. To borrow my illustrious host's sort of verbiage here, 100% a foul. You know what I mean? 100%. So, no, just a shitty call, as we know. But the mentality, again, I think the mentality, we talk about it a lot, but Jake mentioned it earlier. Like, it's the mentality, not just in within the match. It's prepping for a match. It's after like a full 120 and you're prepping for pens. Like, we have the expertise, right? I mean, we have like the psychologists and mental health coaches, all that kind of stuff within the club, which actually just lends itself to this sort of us versus everybody mentality. And Mo, who missed out on a lot of the match, set it straight from the beginning, just never give up. And just like this season, we never give up on the title, never give up on the Champions League final, and we're here, 2 in the bag, 2 to go. What do you think, Jake, about that Soton performance?
I think I give super props to I did like today's whichever point of reference from Klopp, saying that I have Ferraris in the garage.
yeah.
I have Ferraris in the garage just ready to rip it up. And you know what? And like, look at Taki, right? Like, look
my God.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, look at Taki, right? Like,
much respect.
He's not getting the time. He's getting 5 minutes here, 7 here, 20 there, whatever the case is. Not playing for several. And he's a star guy. Like, he's
elite,
he's class, right? Elite. He's class. Yeah. And I like the fact that he's a humble cat too. Like, he's nice. He's a nice all-around guy, innately. And he loves being around the fellas and just the club itself. And he's, you know what? He's skillful. He put that in the court. Like, there was like no one's business.
That nicely. He took that well too.
He's moving around. Like, I loved it, right?
So Taki Minamino has scored in his last 2 Premier League starts for Liverpool. One was yesterday. The previous one to that was December 2020. Yeah, right.
7-0.
Yeah, so he scored in those 2 games. In between that, he's been on loan to Southampton, and he's also the top scorer in both the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup in the same season.
Beautiful. Yeah,
it's insane.
Like, that mentality.
And not even talked about. Yeah,
the whole squad participating. Harvey got a little run out. Simi's got this.
Except for Ox, I felt really bad for him.
Yeah, you know what? He said that though, right? He said that though. Yeah. He said that, kill me because I should have put Ox on and I didn't. And I'm not sure what's going on with that. He's not.
Yeah, there's something going on there because he wasn't even celebrating and stuff. Like, you didn't really see him in the squad stuff. Even Taki in the locker room after the FA Cup final, you saw him like at least around, right? And no sign of Ox. I think there must be some sort of beef thing going on there. But anyway.
I think he's like a new father and a few other things.
Yeah. There's also whatever.
That too. I think it's been like the last year that he's had some a tough go out, but. Yeah, I can't fault the players that have come in and trying to do the job and trying to do the justice. And like, Joel, there's like lots of things that are like, and I hate the media saying, oh, it's such a fluke goal. I'm like, it's
forget that crap.
It's just, everyone is playing their part, coaches, players, and it's fantastic. And it's just such a poignant times, right? Much needed times that they're doing this. 9 changes. Like, how are we gonna? We were all shitting our pants. Of course, we love them; they're good skill. But 9 players that haven't played together for a minute to have that performance, lovely.
Zaz, I think this is important because just on Jake's point, I think you bring it up a lot, and I think. As humans, we tend to look ahead or behind and blah, 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 but we never really concentrate on the now. Like, soak it in right now. Like, this is like as best as I could ever remember even reading. I mean, maybe you can say the 70s, 80s, sort of early 80s teams, but for a modern day team, I can't, and even City as well, right? I mean, they had obviously won the treble of domestic or whatever, but they've never won all four, being the company. What do you think about that in terms of like just living in the here and one match at a time, like that kind of thing?
Yeah,
just that mentality. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, go honestly, like anybody watching this,
well.
like go on my Instagram, the Cultras.
Yeah, I do. I'm
saying to anyone watching, like, just I've spoken about it for the last 2 days. Like, I don't want this season to end. Like, even if that means we don't get to have these 2 big day outs, like, I don't support Liverpool for that reason. Like, I want to win the cups and I'm competitive and all that stuff, but like, I will never be able to articulate what this team has given me in the last 2 years, particularly, but 5 years, including club, and what this club has given me my whole life. Like all of us, like, it's such a massive part of our life. It's our family, it's our passion, it's our North Star, all those things. But just specifically in these 2 years, and with a microscope, just these last 5 months, like January to May, like, it is an honor that we got to do this, like this, what we're doing here, and document this every week. It's been an honor and a privilege to watch these Reds, and like, I would actually not want to, like, do I want to win the Champions League? Of course. Do I want to win the quadruple? Yeah. Do I want to win? But like, do I want to give this up, like, every 3-4 days, seeing you people, like, you know, chatting to my brother and other people who I talk to in England about the game, watching Anfield Wrap, recording this with you, watching the game, watching the post-match. You know, you guys will have seen, like, I've been cheekily posting, like, post-game.
Do you breathe as well? Do you breathe?
Yeah.
Is there an eating component?
Yeah, but like, I don't want it to end. Like, no part of, I would give up. Yes, I would give up trophies because I just do not want this to end. That's how I feel about it. So
that's a great point.
I'm really sad. Like, in that, I'm really happy about the season. I'm very proud. I can't wait till Sunday. I absolutely cannot wait till Saturday, because if we didn't have the 30-year wait and then didn't have to celebrate the Premier League on our own, I'm a European Cup guy. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, I was just wired that I have the European Cup slightly above the Premier League. So I'm all right.
Me too.
You know, like, I'm all right. Like, I'm okay. Yeah. Like, I want the quad. If we get the treble, great. If we get the double, is it a disappointing season? We can talk about that later on.
I don't think so.
But like, I just cannot. And there's no World Cup or Euro. So what the F are we gonna do for 3 months? Like, what are we gonna do for?
Well, I know what I'm gonna do. Study. Anyway.
Yeah. Jake, what do you think about that?
No, you know what? I do respect all those points, and then being at the pub and our venues over the last, like, several months, just for that, I have seen a plethora of new fans. From little like 9-year-old or 8-year-old Lawson and his granddad.
Shout out Lawson.
To like, so many folks, new folks, brought together, and then seeing Lawson on the table, revving up our crowd. It's just a beautiful thing. And like today, for instance,
magical.
Just had a little chat with his mom, and she basically said, like, all on the weekend he's waiting for him to come to the pub. That's all he's talking to his parents.
No,
that's amazing.
I love him.
I kid you not. You know, he already knows the songbook. He's ready to go. Like, it's just, you know, and we're bringing this all together. We're giving him the audience. We're giving him the avenue, and we all love him. He's like our little boy. Like, it's crazy. But all of these people from all over the world, expats that are coming in, people from everywhere that are moving to the city from everywhere. It's just a great experience. We have more than 600 members. 600 members.
We have 600. Yeah, exactly. 610
members.
But I mean,
we
growing.
Just started to scratch the surface. Can you imagine if we have our own boss nights when there's thousands of people, like, in the future, which we will? It's just a great experience. And you're right. I do not want this to end. I do not know what I will do with my free time, technically. And, you know, we're going to have some conversations about the transfer strategy strategy, Julian Ward, like the new people coming in and whatever else. But I kind of like, I'm already like almost heartbroken. It's only a couple games left. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Right? Like, I love this so much.
Plan for next season.
And all of you. Yes. Well, we are doing our FY23 planning, but nevertheless, it's it's interesting.
And there's big things coming.
To go through. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
There is a lot coming and everything, and it is going to be amazing next season. But like, yeah, just to see this growth as well, it's just and also this has been a privilege as well to see the momentum with our club, just to see it grow, and like the Lawsons, and just it's a beautiful thing. It's been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal to watch. I'm just going to cut to something a bit more practical, which is not romantic at all, which is the analysis of how much our first team have played. So I'm using this assumption when I look at this, that what I'm saying when I say these stats is the team for Sunday is going to be Ali, Trent, Matip, Virgil, Robbo, Henderson, Thiago, Keita, Mane and Diaz for sure, then either Jota or Mo. So Alisson played both games, but he's a goalkeeper, so it's all good. Trent played 120 minutes on Saturday, 0 yesterday, so 8 days rest. Phenomenal. Matip played 30 minutes on Saturday, 90 yesterday, and then 5 days rest. Okay, that's fine. Virgil played 90 minutes on Saturday, 0 yesterday, 8 days rest. Robbo played 111 minutes on Saturday, 8 days rest. Hendo, this is one that's tough. Played 120 on Saturday, 45 yesterday with a 5-day rest. So he's probably, other than Jota, he's probably the most, the nearest. Thiago played 120 Saturday, 0 yesterday, 8-day rest. Keita, 74 minutes Saturday, 7 yesterday, 5-day rest. Mane, 120 minutes Saturday, 0 yesterday, 8-day rest. Diaz, 98 minutes, 0 yesterday, 8-day rest. That rotation is insane. And then the last one is, if Mo plays, it's 13 minutes, 0, 8-day rest. But who knows about him? Sorry, last one, Jota. This is a tough one. So if Jota plays, he played 87 minutes on Saturday, 90 last night with a 5 days rest. So
here's the thing. Mo should not play. As much as I want him for the golden boot and everything else, he should really not play, just in case. We need him fresh for that final. And I think we can do the job without him. However, it is Wolves, and they could pull whatever. But the others, I mean, Hendo is another risk. I honestly, as much as I don't know if Hendo should play. I mean, Thiago, and I mean, but playing a full 90, maybe we can do some splits, right? Like sort of the 45s or maybe 60s, right? So for those who had 0, like the Trents and everybody else. But the biggest thing that we have to manage right now is don't get injured, man. Nobody just stay in a bubble.
Virgil
knock
is
on wood,
right? Does Virgil have
Virgil, I would say rest.
Mo had a little bit of a knock. Fab is still out.
Rest these guys, man.
Like, it is a very sensitive, and you're right. Like, we've spoken about this. Zazu has said it all year round that, like, we want to play these games, but the point of reference is that just make sure nobody gets hurt in the match, right? And so this is the most critical time of the year. Whereas, like, Man City, Mahrez, thank you very much. Whatever it is, I don't know whatever he was thinking, but, thanks for that penalty, that we keep that hope alive from this premise. But, we do need the fresh legs. We do need them to be, on their points. It's going to be interesting to see who actually does to get to start on this day. And then, like, how I really hope Fab's fit for the, Champs final. But
yes, Fab. We're not even thinking about Fab, but Fab is key. Is key. Hopefully he's good. So, but here's the other thing, though. Sorry, just on this point, what about the other side of the equation, which is like, or the devil's advocate sort of view, which is, if you're not playing then for 2 weeks, are you then rusty? If you know what I mean, like you've lost a bit of rhythm, and like Mo, or like would you at least put him out there for a little bit?
So in 2019, both Tottenham and Liverpool, of course, had a 2-week break. In 2019, and I think the final, you could tell. Like, let's just say you could tell. Like, it
Oh, yeah.
was a poor game, right?
Yeah.
And like you could
Yeah.
tell that people had just lost a little bit of that sharpness after a long season. So yeah, 100%. Oh, I just said 100% again. Okay, so before
Hundo P.
Hundo P. So before we get into our hopes and dreams and everything about Sunday, how do we feel about the fact that the media called our victory yesterday like lucky goal, fluky goal? That was the thing. And yet West Ham on Saturday, massive deflection for Jack Grealish, who has scored as many goals as Joel Matip, by the way. And then West Ham actually scored an amazing header, like a world-class striker's finish to equalize, except it was an own goal. Like, and why does that not get called lucky? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's
the double standard.
But it just, the thing is that when we see things like this, we're never, we get goaded for stuff like that as well. But we're just like, really? Again? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't have the same, like, Klopp doesn't have this kind of conversations about their teams like this, like Pep does. The media is always doing, even the commentators. How many times over the last few weeks have the commentators, we talked about this weekend, Beglin, the bastard, like, you can even think he played for Liverpool. Like, what the hell is this? Everybody, man.
Do you guys notice this, right? You have to pick up on this because you're avid watchers, long time watchers. But there's this narrative I think out there where the media is very, and Jose Mourinho put it out there a long time ago, right? Which is, it's Liverpool dominated, with Alan Hansen way back. Like just like the punditry became like, it's a Liverpool bias, Graham Souness, everybody else, Jamie Carragher. But what's end up happening is that you have others. Oh, he just dipped. Okay, you have others like Hutchinson, for example, or Michael Owen, or others, or Jim Beglin, who have now come into the punditry or the commentary or whatever, and have tried to almost like take the other side just to justify that, or just to show that they're actually not, you know what I mean? So to play that devil's advocate, to show that objectivity, it's like, hey, I get what you're trying to do, but call it as it is. At the end of the day, I mean, just take off whatever hat you have on, and just be true to what your footballing self would have seen and with your own eyes when you're on the pitch. So I think that's what's happened a lot is there's so many narratives that are conflicting. So I'm trying to offset that narrative by saying, it's like, look, just be yourself, call the match, call it as you see it, and the good ones actually do, I think.
Until this season, Gary Neville was quite openly anti-Liverpool, and he still is deep down, but he's actually been giving us a lot of props this year.
Has been.
And it's just so interesting to see how our own older players, who are the contrarians, like you said, just can't do it. They just can't. Anyway, it is what it is. I just had to mention that. I'm not sure if Jake will be reconnecting. He's just been having tech issues today, so I'm going to put this on you now, Dan.
Oh man, this is it. Spotlight.
This is it now. So what's happening on Sunday?
Right
exactly.
Spotlight's on me. What's up?
What is happening on Sunday?
I think it's going to go like this. I think City obviously will be at it, but I think in the lead up to the kickoff, there's going to be just that added pressure. They're without players, obviously, right? Some of the key defensive players, and I think Villa. I just been thinking about this all week. Stevie, I know it's been said, it's professional. Stevie may have approached every starter and just said, you know what, 10,000 quid for each one of you if you if you put in a shift, something like that, right? Because again, they're also playing tomorrow, right? And then to play again on Sunday, so that there's also a tired squad, there's some players out. But I just have a feeling that they're going to be a little bit more carefree now. City may go up 1-0, or maybe even 2-0 or something like that. But I just have a feeling that there is a bit of a twist in that it's going to put them under the cosh again. at some point, similar to QPR, similar to Real, similar to those kind of experiences where you wouldn't expect it, because the full gamut of expectations right now is on them to win, and not just win, dominate and dominate possession and blah 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 at home. So all those factors are going for them. But football's a strange game, and the tide could change on a whim. And I hate to say it, I respected him when he was here, but if Phil bangs one in from like 40 yards, honestly, what do you think, man? Is that feasible?
It's feasible. He's not done much for a while, which means
he hasn't.
He might do something. Ings, Ollie Watkins always has a great game against us.
Ollie's,
I rate Ben Buendia as well. Emi Martinez is a great goalkeeper. They don't have a great defense. I don't love Villa's. Yeah, I don't love Villa's defense.
Hanso was okay.
But
he's out.
It's possible. It's possible. Anything at this point is possible. I'm not saying it's probable. It's more hope than expectation. It's the romance that Liverpool fans have and just like what we have with our club. But I am not nervous because it's not for us to win. I'll be more nervous the following week because it's everything. Then it's everything to lose. City have got everything to lose and really something to win that they thought they had already won in January. We've got nothing to lose on Sunday. We will win, in my opinion, on Sunday. And then let's just see what happens.
So I'm going to throw out a scenario to you, okay? I'm going to throw out a game scenario, in match scenario, okay? So first 45 goes 0-0 at the Etihad, okay? So punditry, halftime, they've dominated the ball. They've had the majority of chances, lion's share of chances, all this kind of stuff. Second half starts. How does City react to that? Do they come out like gangbusters, like them to be, or do in that first 10 minutes? I'm just wondering, like how do you see a scenario like that? So they go 0-0 at halftime. Do you think the job's done and dusted, or do you see something else playing out there? Because that's what I, in the back of my mind, think when they're under the cosh in a situation that they haven't faced a lot, they seem not to respond as well. What do you think?
Yeah, so for me, there's no Premier League game where both teams don't get chances. Very rarely. So Man City will dominate. City won't have their main defenders. Against West Ham, there's a moment where Michail Antonio should know his level, no disrespect intended, and pass the ball, and it's 3-1. It's 3-1, right? So you look at the Villa forwards, they are better quality. They are it's just, where West Ham are very well drilled, very good defensively.
Souček and Antonio are, I mean, Bowen too. They're not nobodies, but
classic David Moyes team, well set up and stuff. And Villa are not that, but Villa have got better attacking players. And Man City's clearly not defending well based on how many chances they gave up against West Ham, who they weren't all that. So that gives me hope for sure.
Me too.
The other thing that gives me hope is Man City lose their head really quickly. So you know what, they could score in the first 10 minutes, they could score after another 15 minutes, and then get another deflection. They've won 3-0 and they're out of sight. Cool, you won the Premier League, amazing. But if the longer it seems to go, even if it's at 1-0, because the draw would be fatal for them, even if it's 2-0 and they suddenly get 2-1, they're not real. Yeah, sure, they're not Real Madrid, but at the same time, weirder things have happened. And you also have to remember is the games where we've dropped points. So Tottenham at home and Tottenham away, cool, they've got quality players. We drop points. Chelsea, Leicester, at home and away. I was going to come on to that one. Chelsea put over here,
Yeah.
Tottenham put over here, and City put over there, because that's going to be the top four, including us, right? But the other games, nobody saw us dropping points there, and some of them we were up. You know, like Brentford,
Brighton too. Yeah,
So like none of these games, and then if you look at Man City, Crystal Palace twice, Southampton twice. You know, so like they were never meant to lose those games. They were never meant to drop those points. So even against Everton, and it was Frank Lampard's Everton, so it wasn't even like, you know, like Everton, because earlier in the season, Rafa had Everton for about 5 games playing all right. But then later on, he gets let go. Frank Lampard comes in. They go up against Man City. Man City score a really jammy goal that comes off Michael Keane. And then the Rodri handball happens as well. Like that's against Everton. You know, like that's a relegation team. So anything is possible. De Bruyne will be huge. If he's purring, he's almost impossible to stop. So there's a lot of variables and a lot of factors. The one thing I would say, my closeout point on Man City is the Premier League is due a final day twist. They are. It's just been so written for so long that like it's about time we had a final day twist.
So what? So maybe we can end on this, unless you had anything else after this. This is maybe the best way to end this type of show is there a Stevie factor? Yes or no? Given all the history, given everything at stake, given the prep, given the stakes, given what's happened, obviously 7-8 years ago, given his, you know, everything at stake right now, and knowing what a historic run we've been on, it just feels like there's like something big, you know, bigger than you know, the universe right now. I'm looking up at the sky right now, praying and wishing. Do you think there's going to be any sort of cosmic factor, or is it just, you know what? I don't know. What do you think, Stevie?
So here's what I think. Stevie is over here, and it is a factor, 100%. All of the romance, all of everything about Steven Gerrard, his history with Liverpool, last day of the season. But then over here is like the practicality of the fact that if Man City win the league, Aston Villa get another 15 million from Jack Grealish.
Fair enough.
So
and guess what they get too? They also get Jake Lotta showing back up on a call. I'm kidding.
Literally, as we're signing.
No, they do. They do.
Yeah. So we'll let him rejoin, and then we're gonna say we're up now.
Maybe I'll pose that to him as a final.
Do
presidential
it.
sign off. So Jake, we were talking about the obviously the last match of the season. You know, the different points. What do you think about that? A, and B, is there anything in the cosmic stardust for Stevie G to pull one out of the fire and bring something that he always wanted to do as a player, but now as a head coach? What do you think?
So firstly, I think there's an injury that I read about. I'm not sure who that's.
ITK.
That's a bit of an impact that they're saying it's going to affect us and Everton from that points perspective. That's what they were talking about today. Anyways, I didn't get to see who the person was per se, but there's some injuries that are afoot. So again, this is like is it written in the stars? Are we reading into it? I don't really care, because it's a really good story in the end, and we have hope, and that's all that really matters, right? Like, how would that really play out for all of us if Stevie and Coutinho, like this happened, and Danny Ings, and this happened, and that's how it played out? Like, this would be record kind of like a season never forgotten on any level. You know, of course, it's doubtful. It's doubtful. City's a great squad. You know, I know half their defense is not around and all that kind of stuff, but they've got quality. But on any given day, Villa can do the magic, and hopefully Stevie does rev them up to do some work on our side. And you know, Coutinho is Coutinho. Hopefully, the little magician can do his thing and come out ahead from that standpoint. But I still have hope, no matter what. In terms of the last game of the season, We have a lot of things that are on the go. We have several locations housing members, of course. It is a very
tie back to the club. I love it.
Very, very, very hot ticket. It's a very, very hot
Sorry,
ticket.
I was up here in the clouds and I just got brought down to like concrete ticket. Level right now.
We've got a few locations. We've got Elephant Castle, Sly Fox, and we have Loose Moose, which is going to take every of our overflow. We basically, you know, bought it out for us essentially, and we've got any of our overflow just going there as well, which is about 300-400 there. So we're trying our best. Lots of issues, lots of situations. If you're able to get to the ENC, we're going to have some raffle prizes and a whole bunch of other stuff there. And we're trying to make a memorable experience. I say that you know, and of course the Loose Moose is only a 5-minute walk from ENC. So in case you can't get in, but I say arrive early if you want to get a spot with the masses. Some people are going to be camping out overnight. Some people will be camping out overnight. So please, again, I implore you to use your judgment, do the right thing, get in line, and there could be some musical guests. Who knows? There's a few things that are on the horizon.
Big things.
There's a few things on the horizon that we're planning. I hope the day is good, but it's going to be, we're still getting new members as well joining to be part of that festivity. So this is all we can ask for, and it's going to be a great experience as a whole. So we are ready to go, and it's going to be a fantastic, fantastic day, nevertheless. And hopefully we'll come out victorious.
There's nothing else to say. I think we're signing off there. The only thing left to say is this.
Smack URL, eh? That's
yeah. Have a great week, everyone, and we will see you.
Enjoy it
speak to you on the weekend. Yeah,
as well. Safe travels. Enjoy the final. Enjoy the final, and we'll see you back here soon, man. Up the Reds.
Up the in Reds. Bye.